Hello and welcome to Chapter 7 in the AutoCAD class for this spring. Let's start with the learning objectives, shall we? Learning objectives are: after completing this chapter, you should understand the importance of accuracy in CAD drawings. You should know the function of each of the object snap modes. You should be able to recognize the snap marker symbols, be able to invoke object snaps for single point selections, be able to operate running object snap modes. Know that you can toggle running object snaps off to specify points not at object features, and be able to use object snap tracking to create and edit objects that align with existing object snaps. Okay, so that's what we're going to learn today. So as you can see, I have a drawing up here. This is like a house outline, which you may or may not be able to see, but it's like a house outline looking down at the house. Anyway, so let's talk about an AutoCAD drawing should be created as an exact dimensional replica of an object. So, for example, say if I'm going to draw an iPhone, right? So let's say I'm going to draw an iPhone. I'm just going to draw let's measure one here. So, got this iPhone. It is okay. All right. So my small little iPhone is let's see, what did I see it was? It is 2.5 inches by about 5.5 inches. So we're going to go 2.5, tab 5.5, enter. So that's kind of the shape of an iPhone. Okay. So if I want to draw the little inside of this, so I want to offset it, the accuracy needs to be super precise. Okay. So because CAD databases store drawings as digital information with great precision, and they can go up to 14 numeric places, guys. 14. I don't think there's a lot we're going to do in this class that will go to 14. It is possible, practical, and desirable to create drawings that are 100% accurate. There should be no eyeball method going on in this. Okay, it should all be 100% accuracy. Accuracy is so critical in AutoCAD. Therefore, in no case should you create an AutoCAD drawing with only visual accuracy, right? So if I were to draw the iPhone and go, oh, it looks like it's about this big. There we go. That's an iPhone. Well, that's not accurate. That's just eyeballing it. That's not what we do in AutoCAD. Everything is going to be 100% accurate. Object snaps do not force objects to align with the grid and the snap. So AutoCAD provides AutoCAD provides a capability. It's easy for you to say, called Object Snap, which enables you to snap to existing objects, endpoints, midpoints, centers, intersections, etc. So, for example, these are your object snaps down here, okay? You got endpoint, midpoint, center, geometric center, node, quadrant, intersection, extension, insertion, perpendicular, tangent, nearest, apparent intersection, parallel. So those are all your different object snaps that you can use. So say if I want to do an apparent intersection, let's click on that one. Let's do the geometric center. I want to draw a circle for some reason in the geometric center of this object. There it is right there. Snaps to that, snaps to that. That's the geometric center. And then I can draw my circle in the middle of that if I would like to. Okay, so those are all of your different snaps. So pressing the right mouse button during a line command produces the running object snap tab of the draft settings dialog box. So I'm running this and I right click, object snapped overrides right there. Okay. Okay. All right. So for example, if you want to draw a line to connect an endpoint to an existing line, you can invoke the endpoint snap mode by at the next specify next point or undo prompt. Then snap exactly to the desired line and by moving the cursor near it and picking it. So you can do a line. It'll snap to any of these points you want. That middle, anywhere along that line, to the center, to this one over here, it doesn't matter, okay? So your snaps automatically do that when you have them turned on. When they're off, obviously they don't. So AutoCAD stores a drawing database as digital information with 14 places of accuracy, like we already mentioned a moment ago. Because CAD databases store drawings as digital information with great precision, it's possible, practical, and desirable to create drawings that are 100% accurate. So to use the center object snap effectively, you can pick near the center of a circle, and that little plus comes up right there. You guys see that, right? And you can pick anywhere around there, and it's going to put it right in the center of that circle. So these snaps are great. You're going to be using them all year long. It's going to make your life a whole lot easier when you start using these snaps. To snap to a point, use the node object snapped option. So we don't have any points in here. We would have to do point. Let's place a point. Okay, so there's your point. Very small, I know. I could have made it bigger. Let's try making it bigger. What do you guys say? Specify a point. No, you can't make it bigger. Okay, well, you might be able to later. But anyway, there's your point. So if I want to snap a line to this point, right now I don't have the point command on, or do I? Did I turn that one on? Node. It's going to snap right there to the middle of that node. So that is a very small point in the earth, but you can snap to those. And when drawing, like in surveying, you would actually enter those points by coordinates and we would draw around that, but that's a totally different story we're not going to go into right now. So that's node snapping. That snaps to a point. The midpoint object snaps to the point of a line or an arc that is halfway between the two endpoints. So I do have midpoint on. I think we already saw that, but we'll do it again. So if I want to go from this midpoint, it goes to that triangle right there. That's your symbol for midpoint. Okay, that is just along the line. Then you get to the middle. Say I want to go down to the bottom midpoint. Am I at it yet? Nope, nope, nope. Boom, there it is, the midpoint. And you notice it's right through that right there. So, okay, so that is your midpoint snap. Quadrant snap allows you to snap to any point of a circle. So let's make sure we have that turned on. Quadrant is not turned on. So now if I want to draw a line somewhere from the quadrants of the circle, you're going to see this diamond. All right, now you don't see it, don't see it, don't see it. Get up here, another diamond. Those are the four quadrants, right? There's the north, east, south, and west quadrants, and that snaps to that. So that is your quadrant snap. The tangent object snap option works with the circle and arc command. So that's where you're going to draw something tangent to it. If you've had math, you know what tangent is. So that means, say I'm going to draw a line that's tangent to this circle. See it come up. That is your tangent command. It looks the same as the nearest because that's what it is on this one. Okay, what else we got? The tangent option calculates and snaps to a tangent point of an arc or a circle. So the apparent intersection object snap is intended for use with 3D objects. So we're not going to worry about the apparent intersection at this point because we're not really working with 3D objects yet in CAD. Single point snap mode means that the selected option operates for only one pick. And I'll tell you what, we don't use single point snap very often at all. Single point snap mode, not something that I'm very interested in using, but it's something that we need to talk to you about because I think there's a question about it on the upcoming quiz at the end of this lecture. Now, with any of these methods, object snap modes are active only for the selection of a single point. When you're using single point snap, if you want object snap to another point, you must select an object snap mode again for the second point. But again, if you just leave them on, your object snaps will run. That's how I did it all the time. When I worked in industry, my object snaps were always on, especially the ones I used all the time. And I only turned on specific ones like tangent or parallel when I needed them, not constantly, okay? So a more effective method for using object snaps is called running object snap, which is what I was talking about, because one or more of the object snap modes can be turned on and kept on indefinitely. So that's what we do down here. When you turn these on, these are, wrong one, sorry. These are running object snaps. So I don't use that one. I don't use that one very often. I don't use that one very often. I use extension sometimes, but not very often. I don't use tangent very often. But the rest of those, not parallel either, but the rest of those I do. So I leave these object snaps on constantly. These are always on. Under settings, you can decide which ones you want on, which ones you want off. And it shows you the symbol under settings as well, because I know one of the questions will be about different symbols of the snap objects. Here is where you can find that under snaps, object, snap settings. And there's all kind of stuff you can put in here. So that's really good stuff right there for you to know. Type the command O snap or command alias OS to produce an object snap dialog box. So OS, enter, and there's that dialog box. Instead of clicking the settings down there, you can do O snap or you can do OS. Again, I use those text commands all the time. Much easier, much quicker, gives you a lot more time to work with stuff. All right, to temporarily acquire an object snap point for use with an object snap tracking, move the cursor over it. Do not pick the point, only rest on it. So that's, say if I want to draw a line and I want to do it here, say here. You hover over it and go over, and then there should be a green line there. I don't know why we're not getting it actually, but you guys have seen me use that before. So, okay. To use object snap tracking, toggle both object snap and object snap tracking on at the status bar, which we have right here. Object snap is on and tracking is on. So, all right. So that is in a nutshell, very quickly, how to use object snaps. Trying to keep these lectures as short as possible. I will, of course, be here to answer questions for you in the classroom when you do the assignment for Chapter 7. If you have any questions, again, feel free to email me, email Mr. Farmer, and we will get back to you as quick as we can with those answers. Other than that, guys, move on to Chapter 8 tomorrow, and I'll see you tomorrow for the assignment.